The 10-minute reset that saves bad days. A bad day rarely begins with a disaster. Usually, it starts with something small. You wake up late. You check your phone before getting out of bed. One task takes longer than expected. One message changes your mood. Then the day begins to feel heavier than it actually is. You are behind. Your attention is scattered. And even though there are still hours left, your mind quietly reaches a conclusion. This day is already ruined. That conclusion is usually more damaging than whatever happened first, because once you believe the day is lost, you stop trying to recover it. You scroll for a few minutes. You avoid the task that is making you uncomfortable. You feel guilty for avoiding it. And now the guilt becomes another reason not to begin. By the end of the day, the original problem is no longer the reason the day went badly. The real damage came from everything that happened after you decided it could not be saved. But a bad morning does not have to become a bad afternoon. A distracted hour does not have to become a wasted day. You do not need to repair everything. You only need to regain control of the next 10 minutes. This is the 10-minute reset. A 5-step protocol for the moments when your day feels messy, heavy, or completely off track. The first 2 minutes are called Stop the Spiral. When your day starts going badly, your instinct may be to sit still and think harder. You stare at the same screen. You replay the same problems. You tell yourself you are behind. But you cannot interrupt a spiral while continuing the exact behavior that is feeding it. So do not solve anything yet. Stand up, put your phone down, step away from the screen. Drink some water, take a few slow breaths. The exact action does not matter. What matters is creating a physical break. Think of it like restarting a frozen device. You are not fixing every problem. You are interrupting the process that has stopped responding. Your mind sometimes needs the same signal. The previous moment is over. After 2 minutes, begin the second step. Empty the mind. Take one blank page. Write down everything currently taking up mental space. The unfinished email. The task you have been avoiding. The appointment you forgot to schedule. The message you still need to answer. The fact that you started late. The conversation that keeps replaying in your head. Do not organize anything yet. Just move the noise from your mind onto the page. When several unresolved thoughts stay active at once, they compete for your attention. You try to work, but part of your mind keeps reminding you about everything else. This creates the feeling that everything is happening at once. But everything is not happening at once. You are trying to hold everything in your mind at once. Once it is on paper, the pressure changes. The problems are still there. But now they have edges. At minute 4, move to the third step. Separate facts from feelings. Look at the page and ask, what has actually happened? When people feel overwhelmed, the mind begins turning temporary problems into permanent conclusions. I missed my workout becomes, I have no discipline. I lost an hour becomes, I have wasted the entire day. One task went badly becomes, I cannot handle any of this. These statements feel factual because the emotion behind them is real. But the statements themselves are often exaggerated. A fact is specific. I started work 1 hour later than planned. An emotional conclusion is global. I never get anything right. One gives you something to respond to, the other makes you feel trapped. So rewrite the situation in plain language. Maybe you lost an hour. Maybe you missed an appointment. Maybe you avoided something important. The reset does not ask you to pretend nothing went wrong. It asks you to stop making the problem larger than it is. There is a major difference between I lost 1 hour and I lost the day. The first describes the past, the second predicts the future. And that prediction has not happened yet. Imagine it is 1:40 in the afternoon. You started late. You have answered no important emails. You missed your workout. And you spent 40 minutes switching between tabs without completing anything. Your mind says the day is gone. But the reset asks a better question. What could still be different by 2:10? That question moves you away from judging the day and back toward influencing it. At minute 6, begin the fourth step. Choose one recovery action. This is where people often overcorrect. They create a new schedule. They choose 6 priorities. They promise themselves that the rest of the day will be perfectly focused. But an overwhelmed mind does not need a more ambitious plan. It needs a smaller target. Look at your page and choose one action that would make the next hour meaningfully better. Use what we will call the pressure to effort rule. Choose the action that removes the most mental pressure for the least reasonable effort. Not necessarily the easiest task, not necessarily the biggest task, the task with the best ratio between relief and effort. Maybe a 2-minute reply closes an open loop that has distracted you all morning. Maybe opening the document and writing the first paragraph makes a large project feel real again. Maybe taking a shower removes the fog that has kept you stuck. Maybe making one uncomfortable phone call frees more mental space than completing 5 small chores. Ask yourself, what small action would remove the most pressure? That question is more useful than asking what you feel like doing. It is also more useful than asking how to fix the entire day. Your recovery action should be small enough to begin immediately and useful enough to change your direction. One completed action creates movement, and movement is what your mind is missing. At minute 8, begin the final step. Create a clean restart. You now have 2 minutes to prepare your environment. Close the unrelated tabs. Put your phone somewhere you cannot reach automatically. Clear the surface in front of you. Leave only what you need for the action you selected. If you are writing, open the document. If you are exercising, put on your shoes. If you need to make a call, open the contact. Remove as many decisions as possible. Then set a timer for 20 or 25 minutes. Not for the rest of the day. Just for one focused block. And begin. The purpose of this reset is not to make you suddenly feel motivated. You may still feel tired. You may still be irritated. The day may still be imperfect. But motivation is not the requirement. Direction is. Before the reset, you were reacting to the day. After the reset, you have chosen what happens next. That is the real shift. Many people believe a successful day must be consistent from beginning to end. They imagine productive people waking up early, following the plan perfectly, and staying focused until bedtime. Real days do not work that way. Energy changes. Plans break. People interrupt you. Unexpected problems appear. The difference is not that effective people never lose control of their day. It is that they notice sooner and return faster. They do not turn one bad hour into evidence that the next 10 hours are hopeless. They know how to restart. And restarting is a skill. The protocol is simple. Stop, empty, separate, choose, restart. 5 steps, 10 minutes. You can use it after a distracted morning, after an argument, after procrastinating, after making a mistake, or during one of those days when nothing terrible has happened, but everything somehow feels wrong. The goal is not to recover every minute that has already passed. Those minutes are gone. The goal is to prevent them from controlling what happens next. So the next time your mind says, "This day is already ruined," do not spend another hour arguing with it. Give yourself 10 minutes, break the pattern, put the noise on paper. Replace dramatic conclusions with specific facts. Choose the action with the best pressure to effort ratio. Make the first step obvious. Then begin. You may not turn the day into the most productive day of your life. That is not the point. A reset does not erase what happened. It changes what happens next. And sometimes that is enough to save the day.